Hey guys, welcome back to another video. First off, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you like the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Alright, this video is a response to a video another YouTuber named Rad Vlad made, where he's attempting to prove that the moon is only 70 miles wide using eclipse data that he's misinterpreting. The eclipse we're referencing in this video happened in 2017 and went across the United States. There are several parts of a shadow, and in this video we're going to be talking about two of them, the Umbra and the Penumbra. Here's a diagram illustrating what that looks like in an eclipse and how they're both made. The Umbra in an eclipse is also called the point of totality. If you're viewing the eclipse from within the point of totality, you'll see a complete eclipse. If you're outside the point of totality, you'll see a partial eclipse. I live a few hundred miles south of the point of totality, and from my perspective, we had about an 80 to 90% eclipse. And it was still very dark, even though I wasn't in the Umbra. The size of the Umbra is determined by the size of the light source, the distance between the light source and the body that's casting the shadow, and the distance between the body casting the shadow and the body onto which the shadow is being cast. Now, depending on where the Earth is in its orbit, the Umbra can be up to 90 miles wide, and if the Moon and the Earth are far enough away from each other, the Umbra won't even be cast, and the third part of the shadow, the Antumbra, can come into play. But we'll leave that part out for this demonstration, since the eclipse in 2017 had an Umbra that was about 73 miles wide. Vlad is obsessed with the Penumbra, and you'll hear him say several times you can't have an Umbra without a Penumbra. When he says shadow, sometimes he means the Umbra, sometimes he means the Penumbra, and which one he means at any given time, your guess is as good as mine, because I don't even think he knows which one he means. Anyway, here's Vlad.
I think that it's perfectly fine that the shadow of the moon on Earth during an eclipse is only 70 miles wide. If the moon is 2,159 miles wide, as we're told, there's no way the shadow can be only 70 miles wide on Earth. It's impossible, because you cannot make a shadow smaller than the object casting it. It can be done in a cartoon or a drawing or diagram in a science book. It can be done, but in reality it cannot be done. This yellow ball represents the Earth. What we saw a second ago here is like the moon. Everything's to scale. The distance, the size of the Earth, the size of the moon, all to scale. And I show you what happens in reality, the size of the shadow we should get if things are the way we're told. It should be that big. Okay?
Okay, so in the video here, Vlad's demonstrating what the shadow looks like cast by an orange onto a ball. Now he says this is to scale, but he didn't give any proof of that whatsoever. He didn't measure the orange, he didn't measure the ball, he didn't measure the distance between the two, he didn't even say what unit of measurement he's using. But he is trying, and I'll give him credit for that. So bravo, Vlad, you're at least putting out more effort than I've seen most flat earthers do. And he's showing that there is, in fact, an Umbra and a Penumbra, even though the Umbra is about 10 times bigger than it was in reality. But like I said, he's trying. So good job there, man.
Now, this is what we got during the eclipse when I was here in LA. This was off of Google. Total solar eclipse on August 21st, 2017. That was it. That little tiny dot was the eclipse, 70 miles wide.
And this is where the wheels start to come off of his argument. In the diagram, he's referencing the point of totality when he's saying eclipse. But if you notice on the diagram, there are other lines and other circles that show the amount of totality depending on which part of the country you're from. Those lines are showing the Penumbra. Notice how big that Penumbra is? Interesting.
The moon is like almost as wide as the United States. Yet this was the shadow it produced. That's not possible. If you showed me this, I'd shut my mouth. Say, you guys are right. I was wrong here. It's possible. Next. Anyway, this is the lesson you'll get from Google or any science book. This is the Penumbra. They don't mention it, but that's the Umbra. And they like to say that this little point is the reason the shadow on the Earth is so small. They explain with this drawing. But don't forget this part, guys. Look at all this. This is all shadow too. Remember the parts of the shadow. You can't have Umbra without Penumbra. So this here is what you should have, a faded shadow the size of this moon on the Earth. Okay, and this is my favorite part. This is the end of the video. Watch this.
Epic. This is a high zoom camera because it has to take an image of the Earth from 1,000,000 miles away. It takes images every couple of hours.
So we're 1,000,000 miles away from Earth right now, if you like to believe that. And this is like a real video camera videoing the Earth. Let's see what happens.
And it also captures rare events, such as this solar eclipse showing the shadow of the moon past.
Do you see that? Does that look familiar to you guys? See it again. So this is like they captured an actual eclipse.
Every couple of hours, and it also captures rare events, such as this solar eclipse.
Okay. Actually, does that look familiar? This is what an eclipse should look like.
Yep. That's what a real eclipse looks like on the Earth. And guess what, man? That penumbra, it's like 2,000 or 3,000 miles wide, just like it is in your diagram, just like it is in this video. This is an animation showing what the eclipse looked like as it went across the United States. The point of totality is the middle, and all the areas around the point of totality are the penumbra. Goes all the way from Mexico to Canada. So yeah, Vlad, you're right. You have to have a big penumbra. And guess what? That's like a 3,000 mile wide penumbra. Interesting how that works, isn't it? There was another interesting thing you said in the video, and that was...
If the sizes are what we're told. Let me see here. Does it look like that to anybody? Huh? Or does it look like this? Does it look like that? Is that what we saw in a real eclipse? Did it look like this? Yeah. This is supposedly a real eclipse. So either what we saw we didn't see. We saw a 70-mile wide eclipse. So if that's what really happened, how is this eclipse shadow so huge? You can't have them both. This can't be reality and then also have that be reality. This is how it should look if things are to scale. Like I showed right here. That's how it should look. This is what it actually looked like. So somebody's lying. This doesn't lie because this is what we know happened. But what's supposed to happen is what I demonstrated. And then we have this, what he claims to be a real video from space, showing the way it should be. They know the way it should be, yet that's not the way it was. So who's lying? If this guy is lying, then I'm getting confused here, man. I had it better before in my other video. Anyway, yeah, man, it's all fake, I mean, if what I'm trying to say, if this is real, a video, then we should have seen this on the Earth. The whole entire United States should have been covered under a shadow. Like 90% of it. That didn't happen. Yet this guy's saying this is really happening, but we don't see this. So this is fake. It's proof it's fake, man.
One of my favorite things to see is a flat earther getting put in the friend zone on national television. But even better than that, a flat earther who proves that the earth is a sphere and they don't even know they're doing it. I want to give a special thanks to Vlad for doing the work for me. I'm sure we'll see more of him. This is not over. He says he can admit when he's wrong, but we'll see about that. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you liked it, please hit like, please hit subscribe. If you hated it, please subscribe. And until next time, have a good day.
If you showed me this, I'd shut my mouth. Say, you guys are right. I was wrong here. It's possible.